Well, good evening, you lovely guys from Devonport Camera Club. I wish I could be with you tonight. I wish I could actually see you because I'm sure you're such a good looking team. But it's a pleasure for me to be able to talk about the lovely collection of images that you've sent for me. Photography is wonderful, and we share this love and this passion for something which I think adds so much to our lives. I believe that we actually kind of see things that perhaps other people that aren't into photography don't see, because we've got, hopefully, the seeing eye. I've just taken part in quite an interesting project with 12 photographers from Newbury, where we photographed the town for 24 hours. And we each had 2-hour slots. Anyway, enough of that. I'm excited to look at your pictures and talk about them. So let's start off, and we'll make a start with the first image, which is 3 up. Now, we have here 3 silver eyes. Are you impressed with my ornithological, if that's the right term, skills? I love these little birds. What a great picture to start with. Now, they've posed for you most beautifully, because they could have been 3 together, or they could have been separate. But the fact you've got 2 and a 1 just makes a lovely design to the picture. So a great capture to start with. And I really love the kind of vibrant colours. And of course, the little sort of almost like an eyeliner that they've used. Not that I know anything about eyeliners, gentlemen. Please understand that. But a great picture, 3 up to start with. We now go to the second picture, a leafy escape. Glorious autumn colours. A beautiful landscape with much depth to it. The little shadow across the bottom, and then it gets lighter and brighter as you go through the picture with the glorious autumn colours. And you got a remarkable thing. This cyclist has just come up this road and just is at the right point. I don't know if he was there or whether he's radio controlled, but it's a lovely picture. And of course, the cyclist is an important focal point. This guy is obviously a star because he's riding with no hands on the handlebars. I like your, I think, choice of lens, probably a telephoto, because you've got a slight compression on the road, which adds to it. Great depth to the picture. You go through and you see those mountains in the background, fabulous lighting, but the colours of autumn, absolutely superb. A beautiful shot. And how lovely to have been there to experience this. Number 3, at Baker's Beach, star trails and the aurora, a wonderful picture. And again, it's a picture that only a camera really could create because of the shutter speed, a little movement of the camera, the twisting. However you've done it, it's beautiful. It's got a lovely glow to it and a sparkle, and the little homestead placed in the right position. Mind you, not that you could have placed that, it was there. But I enjoy this. I think it's very well done. And it struck a chord with me straight away. Now we go to dying cedar gums. Magnificent trees, they're huge, aren't they? So many of your lovely pictures take me back to when I used to come down to Tassie and think, I want to come down again. But these trees are magnificent. Beautiful, and a beautiful cloudscape behind. It's a dramatic picture. It makes me think, like sometimes you see like a stage setting in a theatre and it's very sort of dark. Then suddenly lights and spotlights come on and the whole thing kind of comes to life. It's just a little bit like this. I felt this image. It just needs a little bit of lighting skimming across the trees to make it really kind of lift it. However, you're there. That's what the lighting was. So you can't magic the sun to come out. I wish we could sometimes, but it's a great picture nevertheless, and I very much enjoy it. And now we move to the next one, which is an eastern spinebill. I know this not because of my ornithological knowledge. I get mixed up with that word, but because it's written on the on your list. It's a fabulous picture, isn't it? The little bird is sort of hovering upside down, and I like the little bit of movement in the wings as this little bird with a big spiky beak is trying to, I suspect, eat these little berries on this shrub or tree or plant. It's a beautiful picture, just taken exactly the right time, and again exactly the right kind of shutter speed to just give that little bit of movement, which makes it a lovely little capture. Now, this next picture really tells a lovely story, and again, I just think it's great. Hard at work, and this charming little girl, the expression on her face is great. She's absolutely sort of really caught up in the painting. You can see her eyes. She's concentrating so hard, and I like the way she's sort of gripping that paintbrush. She's really sort of caught up in it. It's beautiful, and I like the canvas and the coloured little paints around. And it works beautifully. It tells a lovely story, doesn't it? Pictures do tell stories, and I think if they really sort of hit you and you connect with them, that's the picture has really succeeded. I think this picture has succeeded so well because she's just lost in a lovely little world of her own. It's a beautiful little picture. Wow, the next one. I'm not happy. This majestic, I was going to say threatening, but that's not the word, almost this beautiful elephant just coming through the greenery, the trees, is a wonderful picture. I like that. What I particularly like is that you photographed this elephant in its natural habitat, and that makes it I think it's a fabulous picture, this. You've done so well. And when you think, like not that long ago, people would hunt these beautiful, majestic, awe-inspiring animals to get them as trophies and use ivory from their tusks. It was awful. Thank goodness that's been made illegal and banned now. But this is a magnificent picture. It really, really is. I guess you're on safari. And you can almost sort of sense the sort of like the vibrations as this animal moves, hopefully not towards you, but it's a great picture. It's just standing there, and I think it must have been a very awe-inspiring moment to seeing this elephant at as close range as this. It's beautiful. I'm not sure kind of the age of the animal, but the tusks look to be not as long as you sometimes see. So whether it's like not an adult, I don't know, but it's a very great picture, and it must have been wonderful to be on the safari and to be there to actually see this. Must have been absolutely marvellous. The next picture, Kissing Puffins. It's quite a good title, and I like this very much. It's a cute picture. It's slightly quirky. It looks as if they are kissing, doesn't it? And it almost wants to have a little speech bubble with what he's saying to her. Perhaps just as, I don't know, perhaps it's best not to know. But what I like is the black and white of the birds, the very soft kind of background is lovely, and normally you kind of see backgrounds and you see little spots here and there, and you think, well, that perhaps detracts a little bit. But here, these little sort of out of focus, sort of puffy little sort of blobby things, I can't think of a better word to describe them. I think they kind of add to this picture. I really do, because they sort of key in with the little sort of chests of the little birds. And I think they really add to it. And the only other colour is the little feet of the little bird on the left, the little sort of kind of orangey colour. But it's a lovely picture. And again, it's got that sort of quirky feel to it. And again, the photographer has just picked the precise time. It was Cartier-Bresson said, wasn't it? You know, there's a decisive moment in photography. And here you've got that decisive moment. Now, I always remember reading a statement from a photographer some time ago, quite an eminent top world photographer. And he said, I believe he worked a lot in press and reportage. He said, if your pictures aren't good enough, you're not close enough. And well, this photographer obviously has heard that, have taken that advice on board and gone right in close on this very sort of expressive, very strong face. It's very good, isn't it? Again, I always think in portraits, unless you want to do something very strange, the important thing are the eyes. And if the eyes are sharp, because you go straight to the eyes, and if they're sharp, that's what kind of makes the picture. And here, the eyes are beautifully sharp. It's a very strong face. It's a good expression. And it's a kind of very soft lighting. It would also be interesting to kind of see this with a sort of slightly more contrasty, gritty approach. But this is very good. Fine piece of portraiture. Look into my eyes. Okay, I'm slightly hypnotized, but I'm going to move to the next one. Now, the next picture, well, shall I tell you about one of my vices? I've got a few, but this one is okay to tell you about. Joking apart, I've got a thing for steam trains. And again, I have a feeling about this picture, and I might be totally wrong. I usually am. But I'm wondering if this was taken at the Don River, the Don Valley River, the Don River Valley. I'm not sure of the expression of the actual title, but do you know the railway in Tassie that I've been there and done some photography there. Really like it. And I got a feeling this might be there. As I said, I'm probably totally wrong, but this wonderful steam train, this steam engine on the turntable, which I think is kind of manually operated, really appeals to me because I've got a thing about steam trains. I had a great day at the Don Railway, and because they got like a junkyard bit part with all sorts of old wheels and things and bits of carriages and bits of engines, and for sort of pattern pictures and sort of abstracty things, it was really good. So anyhow, apart from that, this is a great picture, very, very nice indeed. It would have been nice, wouldn't it, if they could have stoked a fire up inside for you, so you've got clouds of smoke coming out and steam coming out, but that's impossible. Very nice picture, and I bet you had a great day there. The next picture, when I saw that, I thought, oh, gasp, this is terrific. Look at this. I mean, it's just superb. Everything is kind of perfection for this type of photography. The bird just flying across Uber Eats, I believe it's called, osprey. It's a wonderful picture of this osprey. The movement of the picture, you've panned the camera just right with it. You've captured all the movement. If you zoom the picture up, you can see the eye of the bird is absolutely critically sharp. And of course, he's just caught and scooped up his lunch, this little fish. And I believe that's a wave curling over in the background. But it's a magnificent picture. The colour harmony is beautiful. It's just great. And again, the timing of this picture, just to capture that like that right in the frame is terrific. You can see the power of the bird, can't you? With the power in those wings. A wonderful picture. The next one, again, I love this because passing time with Nanny. This dear old lady, this dear lovely lady just passing down this, like perhaps her husband's watch to this little boy, perhaps the grandson, and he just putting his hand up to take it. It's a lovely, special moment that's just been recorded. And it, again, this kind of moved me, this picture, because I've got a watch very similar to this that belonged to my grandfather, and I cherish this watch. And I've got it in a little glass dome, and I keep it, and it means a lot to me. So I think, this is an important picture. This is an important moment as this cherished watch, as she passes it to this little boy. It's a lovely, lovely picture. And it tells a story, and I think it's quite an emotional picture. And I feel this lovely old lady, she might not be old, but I feel she's a lovely, kind person passing this watch down. You've done it as a vertical picture. It would have also been interesting as a horizontal, but that doesn't matter. The thing is, it's got a lot of emotion, and it tells, I think, a lovely story. And now we move to this huge this construction. Now, I saw a lot of these things, these grain silos, when I was in Hobart. I remember some of these big grain silos. I think then they were being, a lot of them were being sort of like turned into sort of like dwelling places, and some of them have got big murals painted on them. They're sort of irresistible for photographers. And I like the fact that here you've got this very nice reflection, which just really makes the picture. And now we have the scoparia in the mist. Now, this is a great picture. What I like your viewpoint. You've taken this low viewpoint, and you can sort of walk up this path right through, and then when you get like into the distance, you see these lovely trees in the mist. And I love this. I like the contrast between the colours in the foreground and the mist in the background. It gives the picture a lot of impact and a lot of depth. And as I say, you can walk through, and there in your mind, you can see these beautiful trees. So this is really nice. This is really nice. Very well sort of, I don't use the word composed, but the way you've sort of structured the picture is lovely. It's a picture, I think, it's got a lot of atmosphere. Excellent. Now, the next one, when I first saw this, I thought, what is it? First of all, I thought it was like a boiler or some big part of some engineering work, sort of with dials, or I thought, oh wow, this is quite a strange sort of abstracty type picture. And then the more I looked at it, I really like it. I think you've controlled the lighting beautifully. Then I looked at it more closely and saw that in actual fact, it's a watch face, and it's a G-Shock. But in a way, it's not a watch face. It's more than that, because, as I say, you've transformed this watch into like an abstract kind of picture, and I think it works exceptionally well. Again, very imaginative, I don't like the word creative, but it is. And I think you've thought a lot about this. And of course, it only goes to prove that you don't need a Rolex, you don't need a Cartier or a Patek Philippe or an Omega. As photographers, forget all that rubbish. What you want is G-Shock. So, smashing picture, excellent. Very imaginative. Very well done. And now we move to this lovely portrait. And this is great. Again, good control of the lighting. So the light just skims across her features beautifully. And again, what we talked about, the close-up of the face earlier, is the same here. You go straight to those eyes. And they're lovely eyes. They're kind of smiling at you, aren't they? it just shows that you don't always, you don't have to have a huge sort of like a big smile with a lot of teeth, but here the eyes smile at you beautifully. The only thing I wonder, God, I feel sorry for this attractive young lady. I can almost feel the pain as that bead on a spike thing went through the lower lip. Must have been awful. The things young people do these days for fashion. Anyhow, it's a really nice picture, a nice, lovely portrait. Okay, I think this is one of the last pictures, and it's the picture on the train. And this picture, I'm not sure if I've seen it before, but it was a very similar one in the selection last year, or it might have been the year before. Anyhow, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a picture that tells a story of a very happy day, and you can this train is pretty full up, and you can almost hear the sort of engine chugging. And the laughter and the sort of shouts of people and children, etc., on the train. And people these days, of course, they don't have video cameras. You do videos with your phone. So it's all action. It's all happening. I like your angle of the camera. That's made the picture a little more dynamic. So a really nice picture to close the selection, to end the selection. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you again for sending all these images across. Now, of course, the most difficult part of all of this is choosing one to be the top picture. However, this has to be done, and it falls to me to have the honour to do this. So I thought a lot about these photographs, and there was a lot of contenders in my mind for the top picture. And of course, we've all got different opinions, and this is just my opinion. But some of the ones that really spoke to me were the second picture, the leafy escape, was beautiful with those lovely autumn colours. The Baker's Beach, the Style Trails, and the Aurora, lovely shot. The Kissing Puffins, so many of them really. Passing Time with Nanny, really like that. I like the watch face, the G-Shock. That's great. So a lot of strong contenders here. However, after thinking about it for a long time, weighing it up, my thoughts are that my favourite picture, which I think is the winning picture for me, is the Osprey that Uber Eats. It's a superb piece of work. I congratulate the photographer, and I think you've done a most magnificent job. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been lovely to talk to you again, and I hope you're having a most marvellous evening, and keep shooting, and keep loving your photography. And until I hope to speak to you next year, it's bye from me for now, and I wish you all the very, very best, and of course a very happy and a lovely Christmas. All the best, everybody. Cheers for now then. Bye-bye.